think I messed up right here on the thing. See, that's what I'm saying. See, I did mess up. Thank God I thought of that. Label. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go, you guys. I'm sorry, my bad. That was my fault. But yes, we're ready. So I don't know if Giorvity is here or not. He might be busy. So I'm just going to record it myself and do it that way. So it'll work just the same. And if you guys do have any questions, please know that we're saving those for the end. So if you do have any questions after we're done with the interview, then that's your shot. That's your moment. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, how did you get started as a label manager in the first place?
Oh man, it's quite a tale. So, I was studying abroad, and I had a lot of free time in my schedule. So I was huge into Big Room. Love Pitchback, Headhunters, Sabers, A&G, Jackson Vig, all those kind of guys. And I really wanted to learn more about them because, I've been a fan of TV shows, movies, and there's generally a lot of content out there, interviews, behind the scenes, stuff like that. But that stuff really just didn't exist for this like festival music, especially in the underground. So I took it upon myself to start a blog. And I did a lot of what you're doing now just in text. So I would reach out to people, do interviews with them. And eventually I got to the point where I was interviewing many of the people that I listened to, like Kays and Maurice West, and of course, Sabers, Maddox, Seth Hills. It was a great roster of people. Um, but the blogosphere as what it is, social media what it is, it was hard to sort of continuing to build that platform. And I was fortunate enough to start gaining a lot of connections and network because of this blog, because like I said, no one was doing it. So what I was doing had a lot of value to a lot of people. And so my network increased, and I began to know some label managers, some A&R. I first joined Maddox Records, which was a dark progressive underground label. Worked with them for a few months, and then I began working with local recordings as an A&R. So that's when I really got to see some of the inner workings of what you need to look for in a demo. It's not just what's good music, but also how you can market it, because certain tracks only have this much potential, and you have to sort of measure that and understand everything that goes into making a good release. That label manager ended up selling his position, and during the sale, they sold it to a larger company based in America, and I was appointed as the label manager. So from there, I took over the social media, artist relations, picking which tracks to sign, and so that was my first comprehensive experience running the label. I had a very fantastic A&R team at the time, and one thing led to another. We did a lot of stuff with Loco I'm proud of, and at the end, we had a lot of friction because I didn't own the full label. I wasn't able to execute
Gosh.
some of the visions that I had, and so it led to us breaking ties with that label. Myself and Peter, who you just had on, great interview, and
Yes.
Cedric, we decided to form our own label, Intensity, and we've been rocking ever since.
Fuck yeah. No, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just know that I'm gonna be writing some stuff down. It helps with
Sure.
my memory issues as well.
Hmm.
But hell yeah. Uh, Freak.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry. I'm already excited. We only asked one question, but that's really cool. That's really cool. So how was your experience studying in France? That's pretty
Yeah.
dope. That's pretty dope.
It was, so I was an out-of-state student, and so studying in France was actually cheaper for me than attending the real campus in Atlanta. I went to Georgia Tech, and
Gotcha. Gotcha.
so yeah, I was over there, and my schedule was literally only Tuesday and Thursday. I had like a period where all of my classes were on those days, and so that leaves 5 days out of the week where you can travel and do all this stuff. But it was such a great experience because the train system, the public transport is so much better. You can travel to we went to Budapest, we flew to Ireland for like $70.
That's really
Um,
well.
and yeah, it was just great to be in that place and experience all the food, try all these random holes in the walls, the grocery stores, different candy, different chips.
Yeah.
I love that
That's
kind of stuff, just like living somewhere else. Not really about the tourism for me.
God, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because sometimes, I mean, because I got the same vibe. Like when I went to Europe, I mean, like, yeah, my grandparents bought me like a bunch of touristy type stuff, but
Mhm.
like, I mean, do I have any of that stuff now? No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, what were your early musical influences? What type of music did you like at all in the beginning? I mean, you know, yes.
Yeah, I got you. Man, so whenever I started listening to music, it was when Pandora was, I'm
Oh
not
my
that old,
god.
but Pandora was there. And I was into like alternative rock, but they showed me Fortune Days by the Glitch Mob. And so that was my first exposure to anything EDM. From there, I stumbled into a little bit of Monster Cat. And then, of course, Animals was on the radios, which was just insane to think that Big Room was being played on, local radio stations around the country. And I was using our school dances. So that was my experience with Big Room at first. Um, but I actually fell in love with Vinai, and so they were Melbourne bounce producers, and so it was this sort of big room that was very heavy on the kick and this offbeat bass, and melodies that were super simple but catchy. From there, it stumbled into like Headhunters, Pitchback, Savers A&G, and just snowballed from there and to include a bunch of underground and mainstream festival music, particularly Big Room, and then later down the road, Bass House, Future House, um, just whatever's dark. I don't have a huge bias against songs that are in major keys. It's just too happy for me. But minor keys, darker stuff, that's my vibe.
Oh, that's interesting. That's another interesting question. And it might be in there somewhere. I'm not sure. But so you have your own things that you like and don't like. So
Mhm.
do you use that button bias? I guess I can call it that. Your that bias for signing labels and signing artists and signing songs.
Mhm. Yeah, of course, because especially now in 2021 where there's so many tools available to artists to self-release a song. They can use DistroKid, they can use TuneCore. I actually just had a call with a producer the other day who was looking to get more information about self-releasing a track. And so I view the label as, a self-release with my own investment, if that makes sense. Like each track I feel is my own. I take responsibility for its success or failure. And so I really want all the tracks that we sign to be as successful as they can possibly be because, that's our work, that's our pride, that's what we're putting under this brand. And so of course there's a huge personal bias involved, and there's also just taking into account current trends, the artist's account size. Um, but even I say artist account size, and that could be a trigger for some people, but it's actually something that can be easily worked around through collaborations and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if the song is so good, like if a small artist with 20 followers comes to me with an original, verified original cover of a song, we can take that, to the moon. It doesn't matter their size.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something original as a small artist, it's very hard in today's day to push that organically to the stratosphere.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I didn't even forget. Gotcha. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my dude. Welcome. What's your heritage? Where are you from? And what are places that you want to travel to maybe even find more music as you go forward?
So I'm an American through and through. I was born in Texas, raised in Texas. My dad's Chinese and my mom's white. Virginia,
Gotcha.
like white, white. um,
White.
and yeah, so, as far as heritage, I really, vibe with my Chinese background. And I was fortunate enough to also have traveled abroad and studied abroad in China, which was perhaps the moment that I got most deeply connected to this festival music. Because, if you go to a club here in America, they're playing top 40, they're playing rap, they're playing stuff like that. But in China, they play big room in the clubs on the daily. Big club, small club, big room all the time. So there was this week where I went clubbing 4 nights out of the 7 days. It was insane. I ended up breaking my tailbone because I got drunk one night, rode one of their rental bikes and just fell on my ass, just straight back because I almost got hit by a car.
Oh my
The
god.
usual
Holy
fare.
shit. Oh
But
my
you know,
God.
injuries notwithstanding, just being in a place where the music that I had listened to through headphones, through my Bluetooth speaker in the car, was being played and being danced to by so many people. I took a video, and if there's, someone was a sleuth, they could find a channel that I have where I posted this compilation of my time there. Um, and yeah, China is like the bastion of big room and where this music can live in its full spit capacity beyond just festivals around the world.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I love that. That's really awesome. And that's a really great way to explain that. Like the music that you listen to on your headphones is being played abroad and
Hmm.
being danced to by somebody. I loved how you said that. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. So, how did you develop a good ear for music then? Because being a label manager, sorry, I'm a lot more passionate about this interview than most, but being a label manager, you have to be two things. I mean, right off the bat, open-minded and understanding. So,
Hmm.
please tell me, how did you get such a good ear for music?
Um, well, music is highly subjective. My own musical background is that I used to play Celtic fiddle, like Irish music, jigs, reels, stuff like that, and so that gave me like a little bit of relative pitch. But I heavily rely on my team of A&R for all of the technical aspects of a song, and oftentimes they will get hands-on involved in the projects to fix certain elements because I'm not a producer. I don't know how this works. I've seen people work, and it is just too much for me. That's why I do what I do. They do what they do. We work together and we share the music. Um, but yeah, and it's a lot of market analysis too. You check performances on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, the organic reach, just like and how it becomes a part of the conversation. I think that is the most important thing to me is, reading DMs. We have our own Discord server now where people talk about music. I talk about music with the people on Facebook. I watch people's stories, see what songs are getting shared, which songs enter like this zeitgeist. And so and for me, it's about seeing how a potential demo would fit into this zeitgeist. If and when this song gets released, what impact will it have on the scene? Is it going to be a song that just does well on Spotify? Is it going to be something that gets re-uploaded on YouTube? Something that just goes, or something that just lives in a small big room bubble? So it's just about, identifying its potential, and right now it's sort of like I don't want to. It's not. It just feels like the cards always fall where they're supposed to fall. In my eye, I've never had a demo that got rejected and then went on to, do something that was so totally unexpected.
Gotcha. Really, that's never happened. So you've never been like shocked, but like by a song that you've turned down.
Well, there are two specific instances that are coming to light just now. It's actually been really eye-opening and something that I use to reevaluate and bring more people in on the conversation because these two tracks at the time I thought were, a little bit on the generic side, but now one of them got signed to a bigger label, and then another one is being in talks with a bigger label, and I'm sort of like, I'm interested to see how these play out because even though the bigger label signed it, those are also just human beings with their own biases, their own opinions, and their own expectations for the tracks. And so, but once the track is released, then everything is on the table. The performance, like you can only push a song so far, but the organic um, affinity for the track is what determines if I was, ultimately wrong or right.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, I mean that's really freaking cool that you have that attitude towards it, and like I said, you got to be open minded. Shit, people make so much different shit nowadays.
Hmm.
I mean that you don't know what's gonna blow up and what's not gonna blow up anymore. It's just like I don't know about taking chances, I guess.
100%.
So that brings us into our next question perfectly then. So what do you look for when you receive a track? What's a good impression that somebody can make sending it into a label such as yourself?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And one that
Uh,
I don't have an easy answer to because we have a demo mail, we have our Discord, I have my own DMs. Um, and I have to say I check all of them. There's no unread there, well, there probably is now, but I check the email a few times a week. I listen to everything. I might not respond to everything, but I listen to it. And it's always the song. It's always the song itself. The artist names, where it came from is secondary. If I like the song, I'll look more into it because there's also this sort of this thing going around where people are stealing FLPs, stealing stuff that's not theirs, or using templates and stuff like that. So you have to run it by people to make sure that the track is fully original. Um, so yeah, to anyone out there, please don't just change a few
Yeah.
notes on an FLP and consider your job done. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that for an artist, it's more about how you fit in to the thing and the effort you make to try and fit in with the community that we're building. And there's a couple of different communities that you can fit into, but as long as you fit into one of them and make a name for yourself and have your own set of friends, I mean, everyone here is open-minded. If you have good music, you're going to make friends. With like some rare exceptions if you're particularly eccentric.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's all about, the social aspect. It's about the long-term prospects for your account as well after that initial good song. So at the core of it has to be the initial idea.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like you said, you can't just change a few notes and say that's it. Oh my gosh. So
It's a
what are
problem.
Yeah, for sure. I bet. Does that happen a lot?
Oh yeah.
Oh
More
my
recently
gosh.
now, because yeah, that's why the social aspect's more important. Because if you're in the network and you're working with other people, you're getting feedback. Then the track has history. It's like, yeah, I know that you've been working on this for 3 weeks in the Discord production area. Like I've seen you've been working hard at it, and maybe you have some friends that have been helping and give feedback. So it just gives the song like a little bit more history, connection, and then it's also like verified as a real project, and people can vouch for you as a real producer, not just like because there's been these times where we've gotten a stunning demo only to find out that it's literally just a stolen track from 2016, and like, well. So you always have to be careful with these names that you don't recognize, which is
Yeah.
why, again, staying social.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now that makes sense. So, what are some difficulties of being a label manager? Like, what's been hard?
Mm, I think that it's the artist management because the label is a platform in my eyes, but it's the artists who need to be the ones that succeed. And so their success is what everything has been building towards. And so just making sure that everyone's, in the right headspace, everyone is feeling good, everyone's being productive if they want to be, is always the hardest part in keeping tabs on everyone, making sure that they feel, I mean, because this seeing producers get discouraged for the wrong reasons is the biggest loss for output. And like the fans want to hear more from these guys, but sometimes the producers don't see that or feel that themselves. And so making
Yeah.
sure that they feel encouraged, that their music is worth listening to, that's the best way to get more good music from them to release either on our label or hopefully a label even bigger than ours. So I think just
Yeah.
yeah.
Just keeping them motivated, I guess.
Hmm.
Because, it not only affects them, but it affects you as well. So I'm sure that's also a reason. So I can't say that now. I gotta wait. I gotta go in the order of the questions because I do it in like a structured way. And
Hmm.
I don't want to mess it up, but I just want to know. Okay, so the next question is from a business perspective, how can a label manager achieve financial stability?
Um, so for profitability, especially for festival music, is a hard goal because for a song to take off, it needs to exceed its promotional budget. So you spend some money towards playlist pushing, you spend some money on Facebook ads. You need to do what you can to try and take the track over into profitable territory. And of course, we have art costs, video costs. Um, and so you can cut back on areas like for us, we spend a lot on the art and video because I think that's very important to legitimizing the release, giving something stunning for people who watch on YouTube, who see it on Instagram, social media content. And Um, but beyond that, just having a bunch of different revenue streams, making sure you're monetized on SoundCloud, YouTube, um, setting up merch, and gosh, I don't know why that's such a huge problem for me because I have the design. I just need to put it up there so that you can, yeah, just have every possible way to uh, get the fans involved and supporting you because that's what it is. It's a relationship where you make something that they feel is worth supporting. So if our music is
Gotcha.
that good that you want to wear a t-shirt with our logo on it, that's an honor to us and also helps us continue to do what we do. So I don't feel it as taking advantage of them and try to milk them for every money that they've got. It's about earning that money and making something that's worthwhile, worth for them to spend their hard-earned cash on what we're doing.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. Can you ask me? Questions will be at the end of the interview, and I promise that. Oh shit. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, questions will be at the end. I promise. Uh, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense because a lot of people look at it like a milking system. Like trying to get as much money as you possibly can out of them and stuff like that. And that blows my mind because I can see it being looked at like that. I can definitely see that. So
Mhm.
how do you keep it genuine? How do you keep it human for fuck's sake?
I think it goes back to that relationship between signing with the label or self-releasing. Like, if especially with our circle, if producers come up to me and say like, this is what they want out of the track, and they don't want to change certain things that I think would make it, something that we'd want to sign, um, then just explain to them the same resources that we use because the people that I work with usually work for they're for hire. Like you can pay them as well, and you can get sort of similar results that we get. There are certain things that you can only get when you sign with us, but for the most part, in terms of promotion, artwork, video, I can tell you, if you got this money, you can spend it on them, and you can almost accomplish the same result. And so just being transparent with the artist about the economics of the release, like, yeah, the release is going to cost X $100. This is where it's going. This is why we spend this money in this way. If you want, because in our contract, we have a break even clause where the label needs to make back their money first before paying out the artist, which is common among most major labels in this sphere, which makes sense. And at least for us, if an artist wants to invest in their own track, we set it up so that they get the proportional royalties. If they spend $200, we spend $200. We'll each get 50% before the split, if that makes sense. So I
Gotcha.
think that transparency in the releasing process helps people feel more comfortable and also gives them the tools to succeed on their own if that's what they want to do. But there are benefits releasing to a label over self-releasing because there's the existing platforms, our social media, our YouTube, our SoundCloud, sort of stuff that you can only get when you release with us. Otherwise, they have to spend money to catch up in terms of
Gotcha.
following, reach, stuff like that.
Hmm, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. It sounds complicated, but like that's the type of complicated that I like personally. Like businessy type stuff. Like that's super cool. So what exactly is hosting events for labels? Like what does that mean and what are your thoughts on labels doing that?
Sorry, could you repeat the first part of the question? I was reading the chat. I missed the first half.
Yeah, you're good. It can be distracting for sure. But don't forget, you guys, just an update. So, audience questions will be at the end, I promise you. Thank you for the follow, my dude. I appreciate that. So, what are your thoughts on labels hosting events?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
it's paramount. I mean, it's something that hasn't been on our mind this whole COVID period. There were certainly artists and labels who took the sort of uh, not industry, but like the fans by storm with certain animated live events on or online events that so many people, thousands of people tuned into, got people talking, got people inspired. Because especially for our type of music, having those clips of your song getting played on those huge stages is what creates that connection with a lot of artists and fans, and really motivates a lot of people. And so without having that for the past over a year now, um, the next best thing is getting a very well produced online DJ set where you can try and emulate that sort of experience of, oh my gosh, that's my track. People are loving it. People are seeing the chat. People are raving about it, and we're all just dancing at home. But whenever the world opens back up, doing branded events in targeted cities where you want to set your foothold is paramount to because that's actually profitable. Throwing shows
Yeah.
well is the biggest amount of profit because then you can also sell merch. You can also
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways to make money from getting real people in the same room together. Um, so yeah, it's a must accomplish. But getting to that point where you have enough fans in one area is extremely hard, especially if you're releasing on Spotify and SoundCloud and all this sort of stuff to have enough people in like Los Angeles, enough people in New York or whatever is a huge challenge.
I bet. It sounds really freaking hard, but it does sound achievable. So
Mhm.
it's possible for sure. But it does take a lot of work, I'm sure. How important is the concept of investments to you?
What do you mean by investments?
So when you sign somebody, you are choosing, like you said, you're putting your name on whether they do well or not.
Mhm.
How important is that for you? Like, do you most of the time say no, or do you most of the time say yes, or would you say you're pretty balanced?
Oh, it's mostly no. Yeah, 100% most
Oh my
tracks that
god! Okay,
are.
please talk about that, please. Oh gosh, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's a lot of rejections. But I mean, there's also a lot of songs that just aren't ready for prime time, and so nowadays we try to direct them to the Discord, submit it to the demo channel there. Hopefully, hope submit it to your show, get some feedback to get it in a place where it could be released and benefit the whole industry. But yeah, there's very few tracks that sort of capture that uh, nostalgic element plus adding something that says, yes, this was made in 2021. And it's hard. And it also has to do with the story as well. Like we want artists to tell their own stories, collaborate with other people, have their signature sound be heard. That's the biggest thing I can recommend is to have some element about your music that can be readily identifiable. Because if you're listening on Spotify, chances are you never even look at your phone to see what's even playing if it's not your playlist. Like you just put on editorial, put it on, and leave it alone. But if you're listening and listening, and then you hear something that you recognize, you might look at it and it's like, oh my gosh, that's producer X's song. I love what they did here. That's the best way to capture a true fan base and convert listeners who hear your music on Spotify or in all those places to follow you and then support your next release, or the next release, the next release.
True.
Because yeah, building artists up, making sure that everything is an evolution over the next track, and I think that that's the most tried and true, and certainly the mindset that we have when bringing new artists in. Like we tried to do an EP series to introduce new sounds to the label in a low investment way to sort of just see how it responds to our sphere of influence. If it does well there, then maybe the next one's a full single if the track is right.
Got, gotcha. No, that makes sense. I get you. You're very clear. I like the way you speak. I think I've told you that, but yeah, you speak very well. Very, very easy for me to understand and comprehend. So, what advice would you give upcoming artists and what to do and what not to do when it comes to, we'll just put like specifically your label. So, what exactly do you approve of? I mean, like, what's the most genre, or would you, I mean, I don't even know, what would you call it?
Yeah, I mean, our bread and butter is Big Room, 100%.
Oh,
And
okay, gotcha.
I've seen, a couple people in the chat say Big Room is dead, and that's a perfectly valid opinion. I mean, if you look at our numbers, ours being the collective Big Room scene numbers versus something like hardstyle, trap, anything like that, it's paltry in comparison.
Yeah.
But, there's still a workable market for this, and songs do blow up beyond just this sphere, especially like we had a cover of I Like to Move It, which is, everyone knows that song and
Yeah.
that track has gotten over 275,000 streams on Spotify. And it's when you do something like that, where you make Big Room accessible to more people, it can be heard. But in terms of what producers can do to get signed, improve their chances, Big Room covers, no brainer for me. Everything's done for you already. It's just putting your own spin on it.
Yeah.
That's definitely the easiest way. Other than that, it's having a signature sound, being a part of the community, having friends in this community, just being a decent human being,
Yeah.
just engaging, being a part of the fabric. That's all we look for. And like I said before, the cards always fall where they're supposed to fall. Um, and understanding, especially for producers, here's a random piece of advice. I think that for producers to sit down at least once a month, collect the songs that they like from other major labels and songs that they want their track to appear next to, put those all together in a mix, have a library on Recordbox or wherever you keep all your music, and just see where your song fits in. Are you able to transition your song into huge DJ's song and have it feel like it's the same quality? If not, well, you probably have a little bit of work to do. But
Yeah.
if it does, then you might have an actual chance. And if you believe it, you also have to make sure that other people believe it too. Because,
Yeah.
some people always say, believe in yourself. But for music, it's really, I don't think that's the case. I think that's a bad piece of advice to just believe in yourself. You need to know how you fit in.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. I respect and love your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion because every single person on this planet has a different perspective that
Mhm.
you're supposed to learn something from. So like I've never heard that before, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and,
Um,
and, and you're right. Like everyone does have their own opinion, and that's totally valid. And oftentimes, I encourage people to prove me wrong because I have my own opinion. If your
yeah.
opinion is better than mine and you prove it with numbers, power to it because that means if I'm wrong, that meant that you succeeded, which is good for everyone. So I
Yeah.
encourage I encourage it. Take it
I
on a
love
challenge.
that. I love being proved wrong, like proven
Hmm.
wrong with facts and shit like that. I love that because like I'm that type of person that when I'm right, I'm right. So like, oh my gosh, that's pretty funny. I love that. So which platforms would you suggest artists focus on to build a fan base from?
It's good to have a home base on at least one of them. And so that can be your personal Facebook. You can be someone who provides commentary on the scene, provides some sort of content that people resonate for. That's one option. I would not recommend having your Facebook page be your primary thing because organic reach is just dead. You can pay for as much engagement as you want, but that doesn't really translate to real fans. Personal Facebook over professional Facebook. And Instagram is always good, but I know for producers, it's hard for them to come up with content on a regular basis because you can only post so many press photos. You can only post so many photos of the DAW.
Yeah.
And so it's just about finding your voice. And sometimes that is purely through music. And there are so many producers who exist only on SoundCloud who have gone on to do fantastic things. And what they'll do is they'll just do remixes of songs they like, and their passion shines through with their music. And then people recognize that. You'll see them loaded up with comments, full of support. Um, that's also valid. And then, of course, YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
it's the most versatile platform for both music, opinions, um, additional producer content, and the dialogue. People liking or not liking your content is very, very apparent. They'll let you know in the comments, like, "Yo, this tutorial sucked. Do something on this. I hated this song. Like, go back to making this music. Why are you still making this music? Make something different."
Yeah.
Because on Spotify, which is the highest reach musically, there's no comments. You just have the saves,
Gotcha.
and that's saves and playlist ads. That's the only metric to go on. But
Yeah.
YouTube will give you the most nuance in terms of feedback on how to improve yourself based on hopefully someone you've never talked with before.
Gotcha.
But all
Gotcha.
of them are valid. Like all of them, if you have one super strong platform, the rest are a little bit weak. That's totally fine. If you were killing it on YouTube, power to you. If you kill it on SoundCloud, yeah,
Yeah.
don't. There's no one that's better than the other in terms of optics.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. So your recommendation would be, I'm guessing YouTube.
Yeah,
Like
but
if you
for other
had to pick
labels,
one.
yeah, if you had to pick one, YouTube, and also making sure that you're doing things that grow your Spotify, which is unfortunately through download gates. So if that's giving away sample packs, giving away free downloads, be sure to link it to your Spotify so that number goes up, because some labels do look at that, your monthly listeners and your followership. And by doing what you do already, you should be able to lock your content behind a free gate that brings you more followers on Spotify.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's awesome. How informative. I have such like good information. And would you look at that? We're on the last page. Oh my god. That's crazy to me how fast these go by because it's just so fun for me genuinely. So oh, this is an interesting one. I actually was in somebody else's stream. Lost Pool Boy is his name, and
Mhm.
I told him that I was going to be interviewing you, and he had a question. So I wrote it down. I thought it was a good question.
All right.
Um, so do you sign artists based off of talent, or do you sign more artists based off of clout, or do you just have a little bit of both? Like, how do you make that balance?
I think the biggest issue for this community is a lot of true talents feel like there isn't a path forward for them. And so there is never going to be an instance where I sign a track for clout and decline in the same breath, decline a talented track. I
Okay.
don't think that, and I think that some people will fault me for signing someone for clout, but at the same time, it's like the better I can build my platform, the more it benefits you down the line. And it's not like I'm taking a slot away from you to sign DJ Cakeface, whatever, who has 100,000 followers on Instagram. Um, I feel as long as the balance is there and no one is being shirked off to the side, then that's the sort of balance. But I'm not going to sign a horrible track from a big DJ. If that's the case, we can usually work with them, bring one of our guys in on it, make it sound better, bring up the quality, make it, yeah, at least keep our standards there. And if they're not into that, then we don't sign the track. But there have been plenty of instances where we sign a smaller artist as a full single, and sometimes they don't do well, sometimes they do all right. But the unfortunate fact is that smaller artists on Spotify are harder to push. I can only put so much money into it, but after that, the track lives or dies based on the song itself. And yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that's cool. That was a good question. Shout out Lost Pool Boy. Thank you. So the next one is what are your thoughts on Spotify? That actually works out perfectly. So Spotify gives artists bare minimum royalty on their tracks. What are your
Yep, that's
thoughts
what
on
my
that?
my thoughts is that there are no alternatives, which is very unfortunate. My dream world would be that everything is centralized on YouTube, and because of how the YouTube algorithm works, and because so many other channels don't understand the benefit of whitelisting songs, because if you upload a video to YouTube and have a song ID'd and content ID'd, not striked, but you have like contains music from, if you get that, your reach gets and your channel status declines. You will not be organically recommended. You won't get a lot of stuff because YouTube gets less money from your videos because they also have to pay out the song who's in there. They're going to promote a video that is fully monetized with no restrictions.
Yeah.
And but yeah, in terms of Spotify being the thing, that's just a simple fact. We have to live with it. We have to work and aim to do as well as we can on the platform. Whether I like it or not is irrelevant. At the end of the day, we just have to do it because bigger producers also look for our stats to see if they want to sign with us. So we have to show them, like, yeah, we also care about this, just like you care about this.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought the hardest part would just be making it like genuine, you know what I mean? Because the business aspect isn't always genuine because it can't be genuine, you know? Sometimes you gotta be businessy. But, like I thought that was really interesting how you still you explain it in such a way that it is human and it's not we're not milking you and we're not freaking using you and like we do like what you like and I
Mhm.
like the way that's set up because some labels don't do that very well. So I've been told and seen for people. What has been some of the hardest moments being a label manager? I mean, mental health wise.
um, Mental health wise, I think it does come down to the money a lot because it's so unprofitable, especially during COVID. Finding ways to supplement the label's expenses that doesn't come from royalties has always been a challenge. Just pulling up money from various other aspects and all that sort of stuff. So it's hard to stay encouraged whenever you see sort of the returns and stuff like that. But at least we over the year that we existed, the trend has been consistently up, and now it's getting to a more comfortable. I wouldn't say comfortable, a less dangerous position. So
Gotcha.
um, it's just yeah. I would say that's the most difficult part because that is the crossover to the real world. And that's when you have to like take stock and think, is this worth doing? Is this really what I want to do with my life? Am I in the right place? Am I doing all that I can? Um, yeah, I'd say that's always the hardest thing to come to grips with and just keeping it that way.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So what do you do to help that?
Um, it's creative, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. Different things come up every month, sometimes different opportunities, sometimes various gigs, just, you know, whatever it takes to keep this train on the tracks.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So what are some things that you do? Oh, so yeah. So what do you do to take a break and feel more relaxed? What do you do besides the label, of course?
Um, I spend time with my girlfriend. We cook, we'll, do chores, do whatever. It always helps, or watch something. By myself, I like to play a little bit of Apex Legends. It's the only game I played for the last 2 years, I guess, since it came out. Um, I don't know. I used to like video games a lot more, but somehow I just find playing this one single game whenever I want to take a break. And um, yeah, but at the end of the day, I love what I do because there's always so much different things you could be doing with the label. You could be doing paperwork. You could be doing. My favorite thing to do is just think. I like to think about
Okay.
the like where tracks end up, how tracks will be received, what's worth signing, what I should try to get. Like, man, it'd be cool to have a cover of Telephone by Beyonce and Lady Gaga, and then talking to some people to make that happen. Or just a little fun, like moving the pieces around to make something a little bit better is always fun.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I organizing and like figuring shit out is so fun. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with that. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, me too. So, artists, a lot of artists have unique styles. Like really unique styles. I'm sure you have heard some unique styles for sure. Do you recommend that they self-release, or do you think that they still have a chance with a label somewhere? Depending on
Um,
how unique it is.
I don't think that it's not my belief that uniqueness is um a bad thing. I don't think that other labels think it that way too, because there are many instances where unique sound has pushed its way to the top very quickly. But if you're in a position where you have a unique sound that doesn't sound like most other things and labels end up declining, then you should self-release and prove to yourself and to the labels that, yeah, this sound was fire. I knew what I was doing, and look at all the people who like my music and want more. And then maybe if you have this success on your belt, then whenever you send a demo back to the labels in the same style with that success behind you, they'll be more likely to sign it because like, yeah, I want to capture in on the hype that you've been building up, and let me help you push that sound to higher grounds.
Yeah, I agree. It's a whole nother thing about just proving you wrong, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it also makes it a little sad when you are proven wrong, you know what I mean? And then maybe they just don't want to go back to you because whatever the
Oh,
reason.
sure.
But it's not really a loss for you. It's not really a loss for you at that point. But I still get it. I get, oh, that's awesome. Oh, I wrote that on the wrong one. Let me draw an arrow. I have to draw a lot of arrows because sometimes I don't know where I'm writing. So, what are some things managers and artists can do to ensure that they don't fall for scams? Because bots happen a shit ton. So, what about that?
Sure. Don't click on any Instagram ads. Don't click on any YouTube ads for any sort of promotion. Never, never, never. That's the hugest thing because all those is essentially all of those are essentially God bless, drop shipping schemes. There we go. That took me a second. Because what they'll do is that they'll package up some other guy's bots in a nice, organic reach, get on so many playlists, get this many streams, but all they're doing is outsourcing to a core website that's delivering the results. And then they're upcharging and keeping the profits for themselves and delivering you results. So it is guaranteed, but Spotify is cracking down on it heavy. And you will get burnt because of it, especially if you go overboard. Like it's one thing to get 10,000 bots, but it's another thing to get 10 million bots. So you're gonna face some serious repercussions, and I've seen it happen with other labels. And unfortunately, we were also victim to that early on,
Oh
and
shit.
we had to take a break. We had to reevaluate what we were doing. It's like, how did we fall into this? What happened to us is that we saw a label that was doing really well and releasing some of our artists. So it was like, okay, yeah, let's work together, help them promote our stuff. We'll do all that sort of stuff, and come to find out, they're using bots, and so we had to shift our whole strategy, and now we have a personal in-house playlist pitcher who gets our releases on only legitimate playlists that are from other major labels like Spinning, Revealed, stuff like that to make sure that, uh, yeah, no, avoiding anything like that happening again.
Yeah. That freaking sucks. That
The, the
happened.
funny thing, the funny thing about bots though is that they still pay out. Just a fun fact. Um,
wait, wait, what exactly does that mean? Can you explain that a little bit more?
So that means so like whenever it happened to us, we did it 1 month, and then after that month, we got a message from our distributor saying, "Yo, yo, yo, you gotta slow down with these fake plays." And I was like, "Fake plays? Yo, what?" Then they sent me this report saying like these are all the tracks that have fake plays on. It's all the ones that we went through that company with, or that label with, and so we stopped, that time. But then when we get the revenue reports 3 months later, we still got paid for those fake streams. And so I was like,
Oh,
but don't get me wrong, it's not profitable still. It's just
yeah.
less money lost. But
Yeah.
um, it's just a very unfortunate thing. Then we took that lesson very closely to heart because what they were doing is their bots looked very legitimate in that other metrics were being boosted as well that aren't normally hit by bots. Like the most
Yeah.
obvious kind is when you go to Spotify for artists and all the streams are from other. That's your biggest, most obvious red flag. But this one, what they were doing is that they had playlists that had bots running through them. So it looked like the streams were coming from these lists, and they were also having these bots save it to their library, which is another metric you look for because usually bots don't save tracks.
Okay.
Um, and then, yeah, so everything looked good until we got the message like, oh, okay, all right, I hear you.
Damn.
We're stopping that. And now every list that we're on, we know the curators personally because once we called out that team on, their shenanigans, they just poof, no messages,
Okay.
stopped, rebranded. Fortunately for that label, I mean, fortunately for like justice in general, that label got all their list shut down. They had to start from zero. But we just checked in, and it looks like they're doing the same thing all over again. So, you know, I'm sure for them it is profitable whenever you're getting the prices that they are. But it's a
Shit,
mess.
man.
It's a
Oh
mess.
God, that's fucking crazy. You never hear about this stuff, like And so it's nice to know a little behind the scenes type of deal.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy, and I hope I hope you guys that are watching, if anybody's here, of course, just listen to what he is saying. This is important information for all of you. I
Yeah.
swear.
So
Um,
let me make something super clear. So yes, because obviously in this interview I said that we got botted from I think it was the month of October and a little bit into November. But let me be totally clear that there have been no bots used on our releases since 2021.
okay.
So before that
Okay.
period, we weren't using them. We saw this opportunity. We were like, oh yeah, this is good. Found out it was fake. Stopped immediately. And so January, from December onwards, it's been all legitimate. playlists and ads.
Gotcha. That's freaking yeah. Okay, well then that's good. I'm glad. So, can you make an artist technically? I mean, big overnight, or does it have to be luck and a bunch of other things that have to happen at the same time?
So for that idea of an artist blowing up overnight, I mean, I think the most recent example that everyone knows of is like the masked astronaut. You know, I was fortunate enough to know the management of the producer of that track, and so I've been able to sort of follow along behind the scenes on that end. But it's a huge, like, even though it seems like a song becomes viral on TikTok overnight, in most cases it's snowballed from a huge PR effort from a very talented company. And there's many talented companies that can help you, but make no mistake, these packages cost thousands and thousands of dollars because it requires them to do the labor of reaching out to influencers, and of course for the track to be marketable in the first place. And they'll do all they can to try and snowball a track, but to get that sort of overnight, the potential to give your song the fairest chance of having an overnight success would cost thousands of dollars and close relationship with a PR company that's done something before that way. So it's
Gotcha.
possible if you have the money for it. But me personally, can I make an artist pick overnight? No, I don't have that sort of stuff on hand for like a purpose like that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that's some good information to know because some people really do believe once they get signed to a label, though that's it. They made it. I'm big now. I'm famous now. I'm like, no, that's not how
Mm,
that works at all. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that you're not hot shit. You're not.
mm.
Oh my
It's just one
god.
piece of the puzzle on the way up. That's all it is. And each label has their own
Exactly.
different benefits. Like some labels will do really great on DJ support. You'll get supported by some of the idols that you looked up to. Some labels do well on Spotify. Some labels do well with blog coverage. It's just about finding out what you want from your specific release. And it's like, you know what, this one I really want Tiesto to play it out. Let me try and sign to this label who has a close connection with him. Because Tiesto's not gonna not gonna read your email if you're a producer with 200 followers. No one's gonna pay attention to you. Sorry. And
Yeah.
so but it's all these notches, and then once you sign with that label, you get that support. Then it improves your chances of getting the support yourself next time. That's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to climb, and use these labels as little um, holders to boost you up.
I get that. That makes sense. That's a nice way to put it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we did it. We are on the last question. Last question now. By the way, completely forgot that there were songs that you wanted to play. So if you want to send me a song real quick into the message in our DMs on Discord, then
Oh,
I'll
shoot.
play it right after.
I
Before,
got
like,
you.
I'll play it while people are writing their questions, and then we'll just answer the questions after.
All right.
Um, so, last question is what is the future direction for with intensity? Yeah, do you have any new ventures coming up?
For in terms of what is in place right now, we have a lot more releases lined up for till October right now. So there's always going to be new music from us. We're working on with our artists to make some new tracks as well, because sometimes, like I mentioned before, moving the pieces around, getting certain covers of songs, getting based on the last success, we want to release a few more of those. Then on the bucket list is, keeping our nose to the ground on when it's safe to start doing events. And
Oh,
once we get that and we see which venues, like which people who manage live events are more open to hosting us, then we can start focusing ad campaigns on like certain cities to get our logo and our brand plastered in the minds of everyone who lives there, regardless if they like Big Room or not. Just like if you see it's all about impressions at that point.
yeah.
Once we know where we're going, if that's Bangkok, if that's New York, if that's Kansas City, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we have some people working on that, but that's who knows at this rate when that's going to be. But yeah, and then merch, polos, t-shirts, sweatshirts. Um, Getting that store up
Oh,
online is going to be our next thing, and hopefully work on our own video content for YouTube because we have a monetized channel. But if we're only uploading 3-minute songs, then that's not really paying the bills. But
yeah.
if we do maybe some stuff with our producers, walkthroughs, 14 minutes long, then maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on the
Those
bucket
are
list.
cool.
Nothing concrete right now.
Fuck yeah. No, that's really freaking cool. That didn't even feel like I feel like I just started the interview. Can you believe that? How does it feel for you?
I just been vibing this whole time. I've really enjoyed the discussion so far, and I'm looking forward to answering any questions that people
Fuck
might have
yeah.
at the end of all this.
Fuck yeah. So you guys, this is what's gonna happen now. I'm gonna play what he just sent me in the DMs, a song, and do you wanna say a little bit about the song before I play it?
Nothing other than you guys are the only person to hear it. No one's heard it yet.
Oh shit, you guys. Okay, that's great information. And while after the song is over, Chris will be going through the stream and answering any questions that you guys have about labels, about being a label manager. I don't know, whatever the case may be. So here we go. Let me get this up here.
Damn, Jay. Jay calling me out, saying I'm hammered. Not yet. It's only 11:30.
Oh shit. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, and
Put
there's the
that
artwork
there.
preview too. It's one of my favorites.
Oh shit. That's really cool. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. Save the audio. Okay, perfect. You should be able to hear it now too.
Okay, I
Bob,
got you.
let's go.
What are your questions? Oh, you're gonna prompt me or
What? Oh, what?
for the questions?
Oh. Ah, fuck. My bad. Hey! This sounds sick! Oh my gosh, you guys! We're gonna
It's
answer
our
your
summer hit.
questions. Oh my god! Oh shit, you guys! What's up, Pinker? Let's do it! Reviving!
Oh man. Yeah, you can cut it off there. But or yeah, that's our
Gotcha.
summer hit coming up.
God, oh shit, oh shit, fuck, sorry about that. But yeah, dude, I really fucked with what I was already hearing, like even just in the beginning. I thought that was really cool. So you guys, that's coming out when?
June 11th, I believe. So a month out.
Gotcha, and that's gonna be coming out with Intensity Recordings, you guys. Some boss ass shit. So now this is the time. Chris is going to go through the comments, and I'm gonna look at the comments too, and we're gonna answer some questions that you guys have about maybe Intensity Recordings as well. French
All
toast,
right.
me fucking too. Hi Pink Hair, what's up, my dude?
I
Chris,
hate all
what's-
baked goods.
What? What? Holy
Yeah.
shit!
I hate cake. I hate cookies. I don't like pancakes. I don't like French toast. I don't like waffles. Yeah, I don't like brownies. Dogs or cats? 100% cats. I had 3 cats at one point. One of them died, but yeah, I love cats. Um,
Oh
it's
my
intensity, of
god.
course, happening. Any online events akin to the rave culture stream? Um, Currently not, because the issue that I have with it is it was again what we were talking about earlier about the copyright and having music in your videos. And so if we did like only intensity songs, that could work. I mean, we have so much stuff lined up that we could potentially throw something like that and preview everything sort of like a one-off event. And that, yeah, that would be the only time. But just the cost of getting proper animation, making it engaging, I don't think it's like the best use of money when it comes to when we're still building up, because I still think that, we've had Move It that did really well. We had Settle for None, which was a song from September that did pretty well and permeated throughout the industry a little bit broader than most of our releases. And but I'd like to have a few more of those more iconic tracks to establish the label before we do something like that. Let me see. So I'm not into sugars, not really. I like these raspberry squares.
I thought that was a condom for a second. For like the split second. I was like, why is he doing that? That's funny.
If someone
What?
asks you who represents your label Intensity Recordings as main artist, who would you say or which artist comes to mind? I would say, well, yeah, Jay is 100% one of them. He was our first release with Ominous, and he had another release in November, and then we have Titans coming out tomorrow, which is our 50th release. So, and he'll certainly be on our 100th release too. So, Gaspar, EMKR, TBR, Jesus, Winning Team. I think those are the most publicly bound to the label. Um, in terms of like releases and stuff like that. Those would be, and most of them are A&R. Most of them are our A&R, except for Gaspar. So maybe I have to send you an invite to the team. I don't know. The A&R is really just because yeah, with the A&R, it's mostly about fixing up the songs, and so all of them have worked on other demos that aren't necessarily their own songs, and you can find them in the credits. It's not like some scandal or anything. Like Winning Team helps us with vocals. Cedric sometimes does collabs. EMKR does collabs, um, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see. What can a record label offer to an independent artist producer that they wouldn't be able to accomplish by themselves without a label? I think that it goes back to the impact of the release um, on the scene. So if you are an independent artist who has a lot of money, you 100% don't need a label. If you have a good team behind the release, then you can take it farther than we could if you have like $5,000 saved up. I mean, like real, like significant amount of money, because that's what it's going to take to achieve a similar result that will get you noticed for that release, if that makes sense. Like sometimes you can self-release, say you self-release, but that doesn't help anything. But even if you have a bad release on Smash the House, you can still put on your EPK signed to Dimitri Vegas and like Mike's label. And so that's what you get out of that. You might not get streams, you might not get supports, you might not get anything else besides that thing. So it's just deciding what you want out of the release. But yeah, so, but definitively, you will not be able to get that label's credit without signing to the label at the end of the day. So
Oh,
you have to figure that out for yourself if you think it's worth it to sign, or you want to hazard your chances and just collect as much metrics and build your own profile up, because that's a very valid and strong way to continue moving forward as an independent artist.
yeah. That was a great answer to a great question. Pink hair, that was a great question. He's a really cool producer. He's really cool. That's really dope.
Send me some of his or their stuff later.
Oh fuck yeah. I can send some of it to you. He's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
What are your thoughts on unofficial remixes and uploading to SoundCloud nowadays? In my opinion, I'm over unofficial remixes. I just feel like it's not the move anymore, which could be wrong. Um, I think that it depends on the track itself, because in your case, you released the remix for the business, and then like showed videos of it being played out in clubs in Miami and stuff like that. So I think that a good song is a good song, and free downloads are 100% a way to grow your Spotify, as well as get some DJ supports, because sometimes big DJs are looking for these remixes to play on their shows if they are in a position where they're doing live events, because it's a song that has lyrics people will understand and can sing along to. God, these guys. But yeah, I don't think the time of it is over 100%. I think that it's worth doing, and especially if you're in writer's block, because it's much easier to pump out an unofficial remix than making a whole new original track from scratch.
True. True.
So it's all about output. And that's, yeah, if you need to have something released this month, pump out a remix in your signature style, call it a day, get your followers, get your support and dip. It's just about staying on people's minds, I think, is the best
Yeah,
thing for it.
for
Oh,
sure.
these guys.
What?
Oh man.
What? Wait, are you Chris? Oh, you two disagreeing is like a bread and butter. What the fuck? Do you know them? Do you
They're
know?
from the Discord. They're and some of that Gasper's one of our artists, Jericho's one of our artists, DJ Guy, yeah. Justin is one of our rising stars and also helps me run the Discord. So yeah, they've come and commandeered your stream, it seems.
gosh, that's super nice. Look at you're not funny. Oh God,
Um,
what
if
it
I could only
be?
listen to one song ever again, what would it be?
Ooh.
Jeez, that's a tough one. I I never listen to anything on repeat. I hear that people do that, like they'll put a song on for an hour, and I've never done that in my whole life. I've never had a song that I got. That's just weird. Um, but if I like had an iPod that had a capacity of one song that I would like to hear over and over again, jeez, it's so temperamental. Um, I would have to say like Maurice West Party Starter. The way that melody works is always it just hits the right notes for me. I love that song.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
and so whenever I need to get pumped up, I feel like if I was in a position where I could only have one song, that would be the song I need to get me through whatever the fuck I was going through.
I love that. I love that.
What is
Oh.
my biggest accomplishment I've made as a label as a whole? Um, biggest accomplishment, I think that just the fact that we exist where we are is my proudest accomplishment. Just the fact that we're somewhat relevant, that we're part of the discussion, that we have artists that support us is something that I will be forever grateful for. And it's, that's what keeps this keeps this show on the road. And yeah, just the fact that we've been able to cultivate this community,
Yeah.
um, it's something that I'll be forever proud for. Something that we had with Loca and something that carried over here. And I think it's stronger now than it's ever been before. So,
Yeah, you
um,
guys are awesome. And Debris is on the label, correct? And Hypnotune is on the label,
Debris
or
was on
owns the
Loca.
label.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so that's all futurized, and yeah, they're a great team. They sign some of our guards from now and then. So it's great that we all work together as a label, and they all have their own sound. So like it makes sense if you are part of the industry about like because basically if you go to me, I can with a good song, I can send it to basically 7 labels at once.
Yeah,
Um,
that is really
but it's not an
cool.
invitation. Do not send me more tracks than I already get. But yeah, for our artists, that's something that we can do, and I can try to boost stuff around. But even though I can do that, your song is still going to be what matters at the end because I can send it to them, but they can still decline it. I'm not I'm not going to go over
That's
there and
true.
distribute it for them.
Okay,
Um,
I get that now. That makes a lot more sense. I think I was a little confused about something, but you got it. Got it. Yeah. Signing me. Oh my God.
that's
Congratulations to say as well.
the
Oh.
funny story about that comment. So that's from DJ Guy. He had a collaboration with Swinto and Rave Culture, which is the biggest label in this sphere. They just had a live event with Sabers, who's extremely talented pioneer of the genre, and they used that track "Set Me Free" as a teaser for their Rave Culture live stream. So I thought that was really cool to get that sort of mini Easter egg shout out from whoever was behind that decision making process. So that was really nice.
That was
Um,
awesome. Hell yeah.
let's see. Where do I see intensity within 3 years when COVID is done? Um, and my goal with intensity is to always serve as a platform and growing that platform. So the next obvious step would be to do live events where we can take our producers on the road to an event and be able to financially support more people with that effort because that's where the money's going to come from is that booking fee, the ticket sales, drink sales, stuff like that. And we can use that to pay for travel and get them the footage they need because a huge thing when I was doing the blog, my biggest focus was going to be to try and break into video content because having more personality to your artist project, I think improves it exponentially because a label, if they know your face and seen you from somewhere talking about this or performing there, doing some sort of crazy move on stage, they're going to feel a closer connection to you than just an email with a header and a link.
Yeah,
So,
that's very true. Very true.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Were there any more?
Uh, how
Oh yeah,
important is it?
it.
Yeah, Pink Hair is coming with the A1 questions.
Oh,
It's
he's a freaking. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's really fucking awesome. So.
this question, yeah, it's the most important thing because even if you aren't um directly working with someone in the industry, like say, uh, no, that's a bad example, but just knowing people who can tell you straight and also keep you informed on what's a good deal, what's a bad deal, even if it's not necessarily your genre. Just staying in the know, being connected, and you never know when some opportunity will come up. Especially, um, yeah, it's just so dynamic. It's so fluid. You never know where you'll go, but you will never get that opportunity if you weren't close with someone who might have an opportunity that'll be a perfect fit for you. And so you can never go wrong with expanding your network in a way that's genuine and not just transactional.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Comparable
Yeah,
to other
hell yeah.
labels. Oh yeah, I have a clear hierarchy in my mind about where I want to be. Um, and I think that it's being in the same consideration set as maximize, revealed main, and then I want intensity to be there too. I think that that's an achievable goal. And metrics wise, we are there. We can beat maximize in streams and sometimes in YouTube. No, because they had the spinning channel, which is hard to beat. But theoretically,
Yeah.
we could. We could run enough ads to beat that number. And so I think that we could slot ourselves in there and offer the artist something that they can't get on Revealed and Maximized, especially with Blog Coach, because of my background. It's hugely important for me to do that. And for artists, you need that blog coverage to get verified on especially like Instagram.
Yeah,
So
that's a
that's
good point.
I think that that's a significant added advantage to signing with us over signing with one of those more established labels because we will look out for you as an individual, whereas they will try and fit you into their machine, a very well-oiled machine, mind you. So I'm not trying to block on them for anything because what they
Yeah.
do is obviously works. It's good for artists. And currently, if an artist has a contract from us, spinning or revealed main, obviously they should sign the other two. I would take my contract away so that they sign the track on a label that will improve their image because if they have a track in the future that doesn't get signed by them, it's more value to us. Um,
Yeah,
when they come back because they had that thing.
that's
If
awesome.
I don't like milkshakes. Oh, if I was a milkshake, would I drink myself? No, I don't like milkshakes. Same with the steak.
You're like, well, what kind of milkshake would you be in the first place?
Mm, I like strawberry. I like berries, like strawberry or raspberry. So I feel like I'd be like a vanilla with strawberry syrup or strawberry preserves in it. I
Yeah,
like.
that's a great answer. Fuck yeah. I just want to say thank you guys for being here and being here for this interview and asking all of your amazing questions.
Mhm.
Thank you, Pink Hair. You had some really good questions. But anyways, and I also would love to thank Chris here for doing this interview with me. And I've just learned so much about labels. Because, I mean, before this interview, it was mostly, okay, there's a lot of shitty shit about labels. Don't sign to a label. Or it was like, hey, a label is how you get famous. So you better do that. So it's like to find out the truth about it from you that you're the label manager, then yes, I appreciate you for answering a lot of questions that I had.
Of
And I
course.
hope that you have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. I had a fantastic time and I look forward to watching all the future ones that you have coming up.
Fuck yeah, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Bye, Chris.
Cheers.
But I don't know why I did this. I'm like holding up a 7, you guys. That didn't even make any fucking sense. But yeah, much respect. Hope nothing but the best for you on your journey. Aw, that's fucking so nice, Pink Hair. That is so nice because people could be so mean to label managers like him. It's just fucking crazy. So I'm glad that their label is going exactly how they wanted. They wanted it to be genuine. They wanted it to be how they had a vision for it. So it's really awesome to hear that it's going well and they're a genuine label. Really great people. So I mean, not every single label is bad. Just to put that out there for you. I have to pick up I have to pick up my dog soon. Oh my god. But how's everybody doing if you're here? Still, of course. Huh. But trust and believe, I understand 100%, and I'm sure he's dealt with a lot of negativity. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, probably. But yeah, I'm super happy that he has really cool people in his life, amazing people that genuinely support what they're doing and what they're trying to do. Because like he said in the interview, and this will be up on YouTube, they're not trying to make it and like milk you for all the fucking money that you can give them. It's not like that. And he explained that multiple times in here. So to every single person that says that about labels, you just got proven wrong. That is not how that is. And there are a lot of artists on that label that can vouch and say that that is not true. So just putting it out there. You just got to find the right label. You got to talk to the right people, have the right connections, and you'll understand that. But for sure, you know. But I hope you guys are doing fucking amazing. People who say that about labels are ignorant to the entertainment industry. Literally. Literally. Oh my gosh. I should have turned the channel points off, but I'll do this. Oh my god, do you guys, I'll just make the weird noise while I'm running in place. Okay. Oh my gosh, those two are so fun to do by themselves. Oh, did you do another run in place? Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Well, I was about to do another weird noise, but I gotta hold my fucking titties up. This shit, fuck it. He said yes. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. You guys are so fun. Always keeping me fucking, oh my god, you're such a bitch. now I'm just gonna call you a bitch. Because, oh my god. But I'm gonna let you guys in. So this is the plan that I have for, that's for schooling me on the bits earlier. Fuck you. Fuck you. That random noise going to my sample pack. Fuck yeah. By the way, I have, so Debris is an artist or a producer that I interviewed. So that one is on YouTube. But all of the producers that I have interviewed, this is what I want to do. So I'm going to show you right now, just to give you guys a little sneak peek of what I'm planning. It will be called JD Noise. Fuck yeah, bro. So all of these people in here, so all of these people are really, really, you know, they're pretty well-known producers that I've interviewed. I want to get all of these people into the Discord at once, and then we do reviews together for other producers such as yourselves. I just thought it would be a really fucking cool idea to have that many producers in one thing. But anyways, Debris, the one I was talking to you about, he's making me an intro song. So I'm super fucking excited. I'm super fucking excited. And I couldn't just be, I'm just over the fucking moon about it. So it's gonna be fucking great, you guys. It's gonna be fucking great. Oh my gosh. We're gonna go say hi to Sippin' on Chlorine. Spam the fuck out of the emote, you guys. That's all I ask. Just spam the emote and just say hi and give the JD fam like some love and shit like that. But I hope you guys all have an amazing ass day. All the love. I will see you guys tomorrow for another interview. Bye, guys.
Oh my god. I just want to play good music with some party lights. Wait! Stop! If JD rated, I need to play some party lights. Everybody from JD's community relax. Wait, JD's so lovely. I need to play party lights if she rated. JD's so lovely. I love her from the bottom of my heart. She's such a great person. Wait. I'm gonna get these lights bussin' in this bitch.